How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the Black Metal Rebellion. I'm your host, Jesse Morgan, aka Slammerella. My apologies, it's been roughly a month or so since my last update. I really wanted to make sure that people saw the tie-dye shirt thing that I did, because I feel a lot of us do have a lot of white horror and metal shirts that we really don't care about and would rather see spiffed up somehow and make its way back into our wardrobe. So hopefully everyone who needed to see that video got to see it. Thanks to a couple of the staff at Spirit Halloween for checking out the video and giving it a thumbs up. Really appreciate that. And as 3C Films says, Spooky Mama Month has been in full swing, and I've been busy doing stuff with my family and wife regarding such like Halloween haunt and spooky lighting shows up in Scarborough-ish, not really Scarborough, but up that way, and different other things regarding Halloween and just getting into the fall mood. So yeah, it's been a bit since I've been on here, and I apologize. But I do have a couple more videos coming and a couple of collection videos to do for you. One of the new videos, of course, being another tie-dye shirt thing, which should be up within a few more days after this. So yeah, today, as you've probably noticed from the title and thumbnail, is going to be a much needed metal collection update. So I've been collecting a few here, and to start things off right, we got the king of metal, Ozzy Osbourne, with the brand new album Patient Number 9. This album is a fantastic return. I was not expecting much from Ozzy, considering he's 70 something, 73 I think now, and the album has quite a lot more bangers than I was expecting. Ordinary Man was all right, it had some cool stuff. I liked the Little Green Men, especially with the video with Jason Momoa. That was pretty sweet. And this one actually has quite a few good tracks on it, though. Besides the actual song Patient Number 9, the title track, I also really enjoyed One of Those Days. That is probably my favorite track off of this album. A few of the next songs after it, though, kind of are samey-ish. 1,000 Shades, Mr. Darkness, Nothing Feels Right. Evil Shuffle is a little bit of a twist there. I do enjoy the turn they took for that one. Degradation Rules. As stoked as I am for Tony Iommi to return for that song, songs about jerking off, just, I don't know. I don't like very sexual themed songs in music for whatever reason, no matter what the genre is, unless it's like slam, where I don't even know what the fuck the lyrics are about anyways, and they're supposed to be cringy and gory and sexuality filled sometimes, so that doesn't surprise me. But for stuff that you can actually hear the lyrics for, I don't know, it just seems really weird to hear Ozzy talking about spanking one out, and I just, you know, if you're still frisky at 70, you got to do what you got to do, but I don't want to hear about it. Dead and Gone, God Only Knows, like, they're kind of like samey. They're like 6 out of 10 tracks. Parasite I think was pretty good. Immortal I don't quite remember. That's coming off the high of the title track though, so it was probably alright. And Dark Side Blues, I don't know how I feel about that one yet. But anyways, for whatever reason, if you don't know who Ozzy Osbourne is, he's the singer from Black Sabbath who started his solo project in 1980, classic heavy metal from England. But yeah, besides the 13th album that we have right here that was released September 9th of 2022 this year, he also has 12 other solo albums and 9 albums with Black Sabbath. So if you like Ozzy, there's a fuck ton to check out. Slightly different style with Black Sabbath. It's more like bluesy doom metal as opposed to heavy metal. But yeah, really stoked to have the new Ozzy album. I will never not buy anything that's released by Ozzy, even if it's like him in an iron lung and they have to stick a microphone up to his face and auto-tune the shit out of it. As long as it's got Ozzy, I'm probably buying it. So yeah, really stoked to have this. Pretty good album considering how old he is. Like, if you didn't like Ordinary Man, you might still want to check out Patient Number 9. Although I feel like that's a really, really weird name for the album. I think it would have been cooler if you had to call it Immortal or even Dark Side Blues. That would be kind of cool. Alright, moving on to a handful of albums from a band that you saw last Metal Collection update. I'm still trying to catch up and get all their stuff again after throwing it away or selling it for whatever reason a few years back. So here we go. Get ready for at least 4 albums from this project. And I'm talking about AC/DC. This is The Razor's Edge. AC/DC is a hard rock / metal band out of Australia that started in 1973, so forever ago. And besides this and the next 3 albums, they have 13 other albums on top of that. So if you like this, prepare yourself for a fuck ton more. Anyways, The Razor's Edge was the next super duper huge like hit album after Back in Black. Sure, for those about to rock, We Salute You was really, really good. I enjoy Blow Up Your Video. Not many people do for some reason, but I enjoyed it, and the other ones, but nothing really stood out and punched you in the face and made you take notice like The Razor's Edge did after that. This was one of the first albums by AC/DC I heard when I was younger, and this one, whew, amazing. I have no idea why I threw them out. I'm an idiot for throwing them out. If I could go back in the past and slap young Slammerella upside the back of the head, I'd be doing it. I'd be like, you do not throw out AC/DC albums. So, yeah, AC/DC, The Razor's Edge. If I only had a couple albums to take with me on a desert island, this might make it onto it. Really, really good tracks on here. I'm not even going to name them all. Just listen to the whole album if you like AC/DC, and you pretty much got it. Yeah. Really, really love this album. Next, I jokingly called this the Incel album because of some of the lyrics and songs on this one, but this is the follow-up, which is not nearly as good and takes a giant dip. This one's from 1995 and is their 13th album, Razor's Edge being 1990 and their 12th album. But yeah, Ballbreaker is, I don't know, I feel like I enjoyed this when I first owned it a little bit more. But after re-listening to it, there's a couple of songs on here that really make me cringe. Namesakingly, mostly Cover You in Oil. What the fuck? Incel anthem for all of those just neck-bearded beta cringe men out there. I just don't like it. And then the Führer, for whatever reason, makes me think of Hitler. So I don't know. Cover You in Oil, an incel anthem, and then the Führer without, if you don't look into the lyrics, and it kind of makes me think it's like a white power anthem, which not a good look, not very good optics. So yeah, those two back to back, oof, big oof. Apparently the Führer is not about that. Apparently it's about rising up against the televangelical evangelists out there who want money for them to preach at you or something. I don't know. But to me, it just sounds like the Führer, as in Mein Führer, as in Hitler. So yeah, I don't like that. I don't like the incel anthem, Cover You in Oil. I just don't like those two. Honey Roll, same thing. I feel like it's really, without reading the lyrics, it seems like a very sexist, misogynistic type of incel anthem again. I don't know. I'm going to have to check out the lyrics again. But without checking them out and just kind of remembering the song from the recesses of my mind, I don't like it. So, Hard as a Rock, again, they're talking about their dick. Who sings about their own dick? I don't know about this album. The song's good, like the riffs are good, the feel of the song is good. The Boogeyman, also okay. And then we got stuff like Hail Caesar. Wasn't Caesar like a tyrannical dick? I don't know. I ain't hailing Caesar. Love Bomb, meh. Caught with Your Pants Down, like, what are these titles? Whiskey on the Rocks, I like whiskey, so cool. I don't even remember if the song was good, so whatever. And then the Ball Breaker song, I feel like maybe it's a women empowerment song, so that might be cool. I can't remember the lyrics of these because I don't go back to this album ever, but yeah, I don't know. This just seems like one big incel album. Let me know what you think of The Ball Breaker by AC/DC, and let me know your thoughts on a couple of these possibly problematic tracks I was talking about. But yeah, again, there's some decent riffs in here. I don't know with these titles and with the dip in quality from the Razor's Edge. Like, how do you go from the Razor's Edge to that? Badass to not getting any ass and talking about wanting to get ass and things you would do to women if you had said ass. Alright, moving on to a way better album, still not good as Razor's Edge though, is their 14th album, Stiff Upper Lip. I took a break from AC/DC for a while, and then they came back out with this, and the video for I Feel Safe in New York City. Okay, that is actually, like, tough and manly sounding, because New York City it's kind of scary. So if you feel safe in New York City, then I don't know. You've either got some guns, you're fucking strapped like 50 Cent, or you know some good kung fu. So anyways, all jokes aside, this is a good album. I really enjoyed it. Stiff Upper Lip, Meltdown, House of Jazz has got like this slow churning cool like riff to it. Safe in New York City, like I said, really good track. Can't Stand Still, Can't Stop Rock and Roll. Satellite Blues is a nice groovy thing that's going to get your head bobbing. Yeah. Damned, Come and Get It. Like, there is no terrible song on this album. It's not as good as Razor's Edge or Back in Black, no, but holy fuck, this was a return to form. Alright, moving on to the next in their discography. Skipping 8 years after Stiff Upper Lip, people were like, where the fuck is AC/DC? Here they are, Black Ice from 2008, their 15th album. This one, way better than Ball Breaker in my opinion. I don't know if it's better than Stiff Upper Lip or on the same level, but I wouldn't stick it in between Razor's Edge and Stiff Upper Lip. It's definitely on the same level as Stiff Upper Lip, or like a dick hair lower. Gross. I don't know why I said that, but it's a really good album. There's no way in hell I'm going to be able to show you the track list on here because, holy fuck. Yeah, can you read that? You'll have to pause that shit, but you might be able to read that. Anyways, Wheels. The best track on here is definitely Wheels. Rock and Roll Train, really good. Rock and Roll Dream, even better. Probably the second best track on here. I like Wheels, Rock and Roll Dream, Stormy Mayday, Decibel. Skies on Fire is okay. And then the rest of them kind of just sit in the 5 out of 10 mark. But yeah, if you want a decent, semi-decent at least, modern era album, Black Ice might be it. Don't neglect this if you're picking up AC/DC albums. It's pretty good. So yeah, 2008's Black Ice, their 15th album. And that's it for my AC/DC re-up and finally getting some back. So if you didn't like AC/DC, my apologies. Here's some stuff that you might like if you were into nu metal or alternative metal in high school. This was the only album from their mid discography era that we didn't have, and that is Papa Roach with Metamorphosis. Doesn't have the most amazing Papa Roach songs on it. Holy crap, Jacoby, what is your face doing? But it's alright. Hollywood Horror probably being the best track on here, except I Almost Told You That I Loved You probably being next to it somewhere in there. And again, you kind of have to be into that rap metal, alternative, nu metal, alt girl scene, you know, like you really got to be into that. Your 14-year-old scene cousin would probably be super duper into this back in the day. But yeah, those two tracks were on here were probably the best ones. I Almost Told You That I Loved You and Hollywood Horror. The rest of them, again, for Papa Roach, are probably around the 5 out of 10 area, maybe 4 out of 10, depending on what track. but it fills that hole right in the middle of my Papa Roach discography, mine and the wife's. I'm not really into Crooked Teeth all that much, or the two new albums. It's going to be a while before I decide to pick up those and fill that gap for modern Papa Roach era. That I find they're getting really soft and watered down. They need to bring back that oomph and that angst from Infest, and they need to do it now, because this watered down frat boy bullshit version of alternative metal or alternative rock is not working for me. So Jacoby and gang, get your shit together for the next albums, please, dear Lord. Alright, and somewhere in between picking all those up, I must have had a glam metal phase for a week or two, because I decided to pick up another Poison album. This is Flesh and Bone, which is their third album that was released in 1990. Again, glam metal, so Motley Crue, Forever One. Nick, you might enjoy this. Not sure, let me know if you watch my videos anymore. They started in 1983, and they're from Pennsylvania, USA. And besides this, they have 6 other albums. I forgot to mention it. Papa Roach started in 1993. They're from California, USA as well. And they have 10 other albums besides this. All right. Sorry for the reversal there. Let's get back to Poison. This album is okay if you like said style of genre. The most popular song on here being Unskinny Bop, probably. I feel like maybe Come Hell or High Water might be another banger off this. I can't remember. I'm going to have to listen to this one again. I listened to it right when I bought it, and then I just threw it on the shelf to stay until said collection update. Maybe Don't Give Up an Inch, which all you small boys might relate to. You can't give up an inch. That might be a good track on here. I don't know. Let me know. I don't think I showed the inside, so let's do that. No, I definitely didn't. There's the Deja Vu discs receipt. So here we go. Here's the inside of this. I don't know if I'm going to take the time to go back and pick up their first album or not. I think I have open up and say the first album I think is Look What the Cat Dragged In or something, which has Talk Dirty to Me on it maybe. But I might pick up their first album. I don't see me going for anything after this one though. But yeah, let me know what you think of Poison, and do you have a random bout of craving for glam metal every now and then? Because apparently I do. Okay. Another fistful of albums to come by one band, and I've been slowly picking up their stuff again. Let's talk about Megadeth for a sec, shall we? Alright, this is Megadeth with their 10th album, The System Has Failed, from 2004. Megadeth is a thrash band from California, USA that started in 1983, and besides these next 3 albums that I'm showing, have another 13 other albums, also including The Sick, the Dying, and the Dead that came out this year, which I need to pick up. It's on my list of fucking things that is never ending from this year to pick up, along with Horrifier by Wednesday 13. Yeah, so anyways, this is a really good Megadeth album in my opinion. It would definitely be in the top 7 or 6. This was probably their best mid-era album, and I'm talking like post cryptic writings and stuff like that. This is really good. There's so many good tracks on here. Blackmail the Universe, Die Dead Enough, probably the best track on here. Kick the Chair, Something That I'm Not, Shadow of Death, The Scorpion. Honestly, if you're trying to get into that like very chuggy, groovy version of Megadeth, this is the album for you. It has so many bangers and so many memorable riffs and lines in it, and I'm stoked to have this back in my collection again. Really great album by Megadeth. And that rolls right into another great mid-discography region for Megadeth, and that is United Abominations, their 11th album from 2007. So they waited a couple years before releasing this one, but it feels like it could have been released the very next day after The System Has Failed. Really cool versions of Rattlehead on here too, and another Deja Vu discs receipt. There's the inside there. Interesting palette color for that. And then really, really cool inside Shrey art. Hell yeah, that's sick with the 4 horsemen there. Fuck yeah. That should definitely be on a shirt, and I would definitely buy it if I had money. Yeah, United Abominations coming hot off the trail of the System Has Failed, and not, you know, year-wise, but like musically-wise. This was really, really good as well. Washington is next. United Abominations. Gears of War. That is just the best stomping, like, Gears of War. Gears of War. Feel free to inappropriately gif that, by the way. Unfortunately, it has a Tout Le Monde on here again. I'm not a big fan of a Tout Le Monde. I don't even like saying a Tout Le Monde. But yeah, Americistan is a pretty good track on here. You're Dead, Burnt Ice. A lot of great tracks on here for mid-Megadeth discography. And one more time, I am happy to have this back in my collection. I'm an idiot for throwing it out in the first place. Okay, and last Megadeth reacquirement, skipping Endgame and going on to 13, their 13th album, released in 2011. I already have Endgame, already did an update on that, so we're skipping it and going to this one, 13. This one, I would say, is along the lines of Endgame, and maybe not quite as good as The World Needs a Hero. There's just less memorable tracks from this. So let's say System Has Failed and United Abominations were like 9 out of 10. Like Megadeth, I would say this is around a 7.5. Same with Endgame, 7.5. Yeah, literally none of the tracks on here, after reading them, stand out in my mind as something that I can remember being really, really good. 13, possibly. The self-titled track was probably really good. Why does Deadly Nightshade seem like something that might be good too? I don't know. Anyways, there's your assignment in the comment section below. Name your favorite track or tracks off of 13 by Megadeth. I still need a few more by Megadeth. Clearly The Sick, The Dying, and The Dead. I still need Dystopia. I still need The World Needs a Hero. And I still need a original copy of Killing Is My Business. The remastered version with like Dave's drawing on the front is cool and all, but I like the original artwork. It's pretty sweet, and the original version of these boots is way better than that stupid bleeped out thing. Even though I find bleeps really, really funny because I am a child, apparently. But yeah, it amuses me, but I like the full song better without the bleeps in it, so I'm going to try and find an original copy. So yeah, and that's it for now for the Megadeth. We got one final album to do after this. Stick around, because you either love this version of this band or you don't. Okay, so the last artist on here we have is Testament. And before you jump up and down and go, woohoo, more thrash, it's not the album you're probably wanting. This is The Ritual from 1992. This is where they started doing that weird, slowed down, kind of grungy, nu metal-y thing. It's weird. It is definitely not thrash. It's slower, groovier, a little more like depressed teenager type of music than it is Testament. So there we go. There's the track list. Apologies for the ring light. And if you don't know, Testament are, once again, usually thrash metal from California, USA. There have been a lot of California bands in this update. Also started in 1983, so same as Poison, same as Megadeth. And besides this, they've got 12 other albums. This one, as someone who doesn't mind grunge and someone who doesn't mind nu metal or alternative metal, I thought, hey, Testament doing that style would probably be pretty sweet, right? Like, I like Stomp 482 or whatever that album is by Anthrax. I really like the sound of White Noise by Anthrax, but for some reason, Testament doing that kind of thing is just not good. It's not enjoyable. But here we are, collector scum. I'm gonna eventually own every Testament album, so this has to make it into it. And so does Souls of Black, or am I thinking Creator? I don't know. The other weird one by Testament is gonna make it into my collection eventually too. I don't know. Is this the better slower, grungier Testament, or is the other album the better, slower, grungier Testament? Which one of those two Testament albums that aren't thrash do you like better? Leave that in the comments section too below for me. And if you've made it this far, you're a champ. You're a true Rebellion member, because most people drop off around 3 or 5 minutes, which sucks. And if you've lasted this long, please, please, please consider liking the video, because you clearly liked it if you've watched it this long. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe, because I do more, metal updates. I do horror updates, and sometimes I do dumb DIY shit that no one wants to watch or care about, but I do it still because some people like that and I like it, so it's going on this channel. So yeah, subscribe if you've made it this far, and give yourself a pat on the back for putting up with me for probably over 20 minutes now. So yeah, last album on here, Ritual, 1992, weird grungy new metal-y album by Testament, because collector scum reasons. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this even fatter stack of metal from me, Slammerella, aka the Black Metal Rebellion. And you got another annoying DIY video after this to watch, so hopefully you don't mind checking that out. In the meantime, while you're waiting for another metal collection update, maybe in the next 2 weeks, if Halloween and other spooky stuff doesn't, require my time, because that's how things go. Anywho, that's it. Thanks for watching. For Glory, for the Rebellion, Slammerella out. Go celebrate Spooky Mama Month.